All right, let's take a little bit of time to talk about that Sunday night football game, which let's just talk about this really quickly. I cannot believe there are people out there that are like, oh man, snow is football weather. Freezing cold, that is football weather. I was in the freezing cold. It was so crazy. When I was in Minneapolis this weekend, and I'd never been to Minnesota before. I'd never been to the heart of Minnesota in Minneapolis. I've never seen that kind of cold before. I'm an Arizona boy through and through. That cold literally hurts. Like, it hurts your face. It hurts your bones. That was insane. And you know what's crazy? It was colder in Minneapolis than it was in Buffalo. It was like 20 degrees in Buffalo. It was like 10 degrees all weekend and light snow in Minnesota. So that was kind of insane to just see that. And that was kind of fun because I was like, wait a second. It's colder here than it is in Buffalo. So just interesting thing, new perspective, new things you experience in life. But the Buffalo Bills beat the San Francisco 49ers on Sunday Night Football 35-10. Let's just say this really quickly about the Buffalo Bills, because I've talked a lot about the Bills. There's not much more I can say about the Bills. Josh Allen is the MVP. The defense is better than we thought. The offensive weapons are better than we thought. Sean McDermott is coaching for his job. They're coaching to really, for this to be the last year for them. They could do all this, but if they blow it in the playoffs, Sean McDermott's gone. They're starting over from scratch. They got to do things differently. There's not many things I could say more, but what I will say, Josh Allen is so awesome. He is probably the most fun player to watch in the NFL right now. Just a watch, right? If you're just talking about a watch, if you're just talking about someone that is explosive, jumps off the screen, is a ton of fun, Josh Allen is that guy. I think Kyler Murray is also that guy as well. Lamar Jackson is that guy. I'm not talking about talent. I'm not talking about wins. I'm just talking about, dang, situationally, the plays that those couple of guys can make are insane. And the lateral back and then just the ability to score a touchdown. The only thing I worry about Josh Allen is the Cam Newton effect, where he's taking all these hits. He's bigger than everyone else. He's not protecting his body particularly well. I really hope it holds up. He's one of my favorite players to watch in the NFL. He is so absurdly talented. This Buffalo Bills team is destined for a Super Bowl run this year. I just think they're better than the Chiefs this year. And I have not said that in years past. I've said Kansas City's going to beat them. I've always picked against them. Things are just different this year. I can't explain why. I can't tell you why. But they're more talented. They're the better team. They can still get that 1 seed. They have the tiebreaker against the Chiefs. I love Buffalo. Love Buffalo this year. And I think they really do have an effective, reasonable chance to win the Super Bowl this year. And if I had to pick a Super Bowl winner right now, if I had to change out things, if I had to, I think it's Packers-Bills this year. And I think the Bills win it. I think the Bills win the Super Bowl this year. Okay, that's not the main thing of this. And maybe I should have kept the main thing, but I will now. The San Francisco 49ers are broken. This is not when we get healthy, we will be back in the Super Bowl. And I want San Francisco 49ers fans to understand that. Dre Greenlaw is coming back with an Achilles injury. The Fred Warner, who's got the ankle injury, right now is not the same player. Deebo Samuel is not the same player. Brandon Ayuk has a torn ACL. Brock Purdy needs a contract. Christian McCaffrey has now a PCL injury and has been battling an Achilles injury all year long. I just named nearly every single star player for the 49ers. Let's do it again. All of them have a lingering issue or have not been the same this year. Christian McCaffrey has a PCL injury and was dealing with the Achilles injury all year long. Deebo Samuel looks to appear closer to washed than anything else. Brandon Ayuk has a torn ACL. Brock Purdy needs a contract extension. Fred Warner has not been the same all year and is playing on a fractured ankle. Dre Greenlaw has a torn Achilles. And the cornerback position, Charvarius Ward, I don't think he's going to be back next year. I think that's going to be a contract cap catastrophe. I think he's going to have to go. This is not all right, when we get healthy, we'll figure it out. Next year, we'll be better. The San Francisco 49ers Super Bowl window is slammed shut. And I'm not trying to pour salt in the wound to Niners fans because Although it's very obvious, me being a Cardinal fan, that I don't love the San Francisco 49ers, just hard to put that fandom away, I can say that they are a superbly talented team, and there's a reason why they've been to multiple Super Bowls, and they are still a really good team. But it's over. Like, it's over. O-V-E-R. Over. This team is not a Super Bowl contender anymore. They will be fighting for their playoff lives even next year. Every star player on this team has an issue that cannot just be passed over or looked over. It ain't good right now if you're the San Francisco 49ers in San Francisco 49er land. They've got issues everywhere. This team is a draft or two away from ever competing for a Super Bowl title again. Thankfully in the NFL, things can turn around fast, but this ain't it. This isn't a when we get healthy, it'll get better. It's not going to get better. And you need to understand that and rationalize with that and figure out how you can make it better. But with the lingering contract of Brock Purdy, you're not going to be able to pay everyone everything they want anymore. You've got to hit in the draft. And what really hurts this San Francisco 49ers team, and the guy that I think deserves a lot of blame but will somehow evade it, is their GM, John Lynch. They paid Christian McCaffrey an absurd amount of money for God knows what reason last year. Running back going into his 30s, paying him millions and millions of dollars. Father Time is undefeated, man. $20 million a year. And now he's got lingering issues that I don't know what happened in the offseason to cause it. And then the Trey Lance trade. Horrendous. The Brandon Ayuk issue was a debacle. But the answer has always been pay, because you weren't paying Brock Purdy. Now you got to pay Brock Purdy this year. And to everyone that says, well, no, we don't technically have to pay him until next year, that is not how it works. That is not how it works, especially with Brock Purdy. Seeing all these guys going down, he has all the leverage. Now maybe he takes a little less because he's getting paid early, but he's going to get paid. He's going to get paid this year. He will hold out. That will hurt the Niners' chances even more. They will have to pay him. Every quarterback gets paid at this time. Brock Purdy is not an exception to that. Although I wouldn't pay the guy, you're going to have to do so. But this is the reckoning that has been coming for the San Francisco 49ers. They had a chance to win a Super Bowl multiple times, and they blew it. Whether it's the Jaquiski Tart interception that never was, or losing to the Kansas City Chiefs twice in a Super Bowl, you blew it. And it's over. It's over. O-V-E-R, over. Every player on this team has a lingering issue. Brandon Ayuk, torn ACL. Christian McCaffrey, Achilles and PCL. Deebo Samuel appears washed. Brock Purdy needs to be paid. Fred Warner is playing with, I don't even know why, but he's playing with a fractured ankle. Dre Greenlaw is coming back from a torn Achilles. It is over. And you have to realize that and reconcile with that. And it ain't Kyle Shanahan's fault, and it ain't even Brock Purdy's fault, who I've been highly critical of. And Trent Williams is another year older. He might not be here next year. This team has issues everywhere. The Super Bowl run, the Super Bowl window, it's slammed shut. It is over. Over. This is not a scenario where you come back next year just because everyone is healthy and run it back. You will be sadly mistaken, my friend. And it's time to realize that. And it's time to move off of pieces that you can move off of and get draft compensation or get a player back because you need to get younger, you need to get faster, you need to get stronger, you need to get less injury riddled. It's time to come to grips with that. Because Sunday night was terrible. I thought there was a chance the Niners might win that game. I understand they're going from coast to coast, and it was a night game, and it's freezing cold, and it's snowy. I just thought that they would have a better right hook to answer back with. But thoroughly, they were dominated. The 49ers are no longer a great team. They're no longer a good team. They're just kind of a bad, injury-riddled football team. They're just not very good. Their star players are older and not playing as well as they used to. And every player on this team has an either injury that they're coming back from next year, has a contract concern, or will not be here next year, like guys like Javarius Ward, players like Trent Williams. Those two guys I don't even think are going to be here next year. It is a sad place to be. But it is done, over for the San Francisco 49ers. And the sooner they reconcile with that, the sooner they can get back to being legitimate Super Bowl contenders.